Welcome back to another demo in PowerShell. This is a continuation to the PowerShell introduction series, and in this demo we are going to have a look at the loops and conditions in PowerShell. Loops and helps to repeat a certain set of commands over and over again with just one line of code. Once a condition is met, the execution of the script would stop. So PowerShell supports looping through various techniques like using for loop, for each loop, do until, do while, and the if condition helps to execute a script only if the condition is met. So let's start off with the if condition. So suppose in this example, if we get the get help for about if file, and if the file hyphen match, if the file contains the if statement, we display that we have the correct help file, else we display that the string is wrong. So this is the syntax. So if you would forgot the syntax of if, no problem. Just press Ctrl J and in your ISC, just press Ctrl J and then go down until you can find the if. Just select if. So this is an example of if $x greater than $y, do something. So this is the syntax. So even if you forget the syntax, no problem, you can use Ctrl J to get what you want. So let's try to execute the simple example to display if the about if file is correct or not. In this demo, the about if file is not available, hence we cannot execute this. Let's try with a simple the if statement of $x equal to 3. We'll assign a variable $y equal to 5, and then we'll run the command that if $x hyphen is less than $y, we print $x is greater. $x is lesser. Sorry, let's in double quotes. Let's print this, and now let's execute this command. Let's see the output. So it prints 3 is lesser. This is how an if condition is executed. Next, let's go to the do while loop. So do while loop is the first example of looping. Here we assign a variable $I with a value 1, and in the do loop we do the action. For example, here we are writing the value of $I and we'll do the increment. How long are we going to do this? Until $I is less than or equal to 5. So the goal is we are just trying to print numbers 1 to 5 using do loop. Let's just run this. Very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the do while. Let's try the same for do until. But in until, the condition should vary. Instead of using hyphen less than 5, we want the loop to stop once it reaches 5. Let's try to run this and see how it works. So when once it is greater than, until it is greater than 5, we are going to run the code. That is the meaning. So next is the for loop. For loop also executes a set of code unless the condition is met. So this is the syntax. For the initialization part is set first, followed by semicolon, and then the condition, how long this will run, and then the increment counter. And then the script block will, within the curly braces, will contain the code. Here we are just printing the content. So let's just try to run this for loop. So this displays 1 to 5. Next, we'll try to display the array elements using for loop. So this is another example. Let's just run that code. That also works fine. Next, we'll go ahead and look at the for each loop. For each loop helps to display a collection of process items in a collection of items. So for example, this is very helpful for processing items in an array. For each item in the array, you can directly manipulate the items in the array. So the coding is very much simpler. You don't need to worry about the initialization, condition check and all that. If you see, it is very readable also. Int use, for example, this is an array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For each, you open and then $I in $ins in curly braces, you write the value, write hyphen host. Execute this. Wow, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far we have seen how many ways? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 or 5 ways to display the elements in an array. Next, let's try to go ahead with the switch statement. Switch statement is very powerful. Apart from displaying the elements, we can also, apart from checking for conditions, switch can also be made to function as a loop. In this example illustrates that we are creating an array with containing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then for the default condition, for this we are not specifying any condition, we are just displaying the current element in the array. So if you run this, this is the uh, uh, output. Suppose we want to check for a condition switch. This is how you would do. We'll just press Ctrl J and look for a example in switch. So this is the switch. In switch, and then so if the $x has some value, let's press 3, then okay, we can display the value is 3. So if a condition is met, this is what the action it will take. So if there is no condition, we can just take the action in the default group. So let's just run this switch $x. So since the $x value is 3, the display is value is 3. This is the switch statement. Now this so far we have seen looping. Last and not the least, we will look at the how to filter. So filtering is a very important feature in PowerShell. So how do we do that? In PowerShell, all the objects can be passed as input to the next command. So that is done using the pipe symbol. That is nothing but a simple a straight line or vertical line on top of the enter key in your keyboard. You can use that by pressing shift and pressing the key above the enter key. So this is the way you uh, type the pipeline characters. This is called pipeline characters. So the syntax followed is you type the command you want to type, and then you press the pipeline character, and then you specify where object. So and many times if you're so bored of typing the entire where hyphen object, you can merely type where, or even question mark would work. So this means the where condition, and then you open the curly braces, and within that you specify the condition. And while you specify the condition, you will be using this $_ to process the current element in the array or the input from this command. So $_ dot, and then you should know the property name for which you're doing the filter. And then and the value if possible. If you do not know the entire value, most of the time you can just specify hyphen like star value star. So in this example, we are just trying to display all the exe files in C program files folder. So GCI is nothing but get child item. You specify the path name and you're recursing to get all the folders within folders also, and then you pipe and you get the specify the condition $_ dot extension hyphen equal to, and then you specify in double quotes .exe. Let's run this command and see the result. So this is displaying all the values. Let's just stop since there are too many files. And one more point to keep in mind is, suppose you do not know the property, a better way is to just simply look at the get members. So you pipe and then type get members. So this displays all the properties and the methods involved. Suppose, for example, you want to do some filtering for creation time, you can use this. Suppose you want to check the exists or any other property like full name, you can view this. So this is the way you can look using that get member. You can view all the properties of the command. So and this is the, for example, if you want to view all the properties of GCI, just press GM and run this. This would display all the methods and properties. Next example, we'll try to display all the WMI objects with the name network in them. So this is an example also of a regular expression where you can use hyphen match and you specify the name. So in regular expression, you also have certain conditions like you can specify a ending. If you want to say that this should end with the network, you just specify dollar. Let's try to run this command. So here is the output. So as a summary, we have had a look at the loops and conditions supported by PowerShell. So PowerShell supports conditions using the if check and supports looping through do until, do while, then for each, and switch. And also you can do filtering using the where condition. Thank you.